I've always been interested in infectious diseases because the biology of the interaction between the host and the pathogen is fascinating. And as a public health problem, infectious diseases are major killers, certainly in the developing world, in children and people in the really the prime of their life, as well as in other countries as well. And being able to have an impact on infectious disease can help populations, can help bring people out of poverty, can make it possible to have transplants safely, and really can have a major impact on world health. There's so many things that inspire my work every day. I think probably the most inspiring thing about my work is coming to work, either at a Zoom conference, with my laboratory, or in-person meetings, or going to a scientific conference with other collaborators. The exchange of ideas that goes on is just fantastic, and it's always stimulating. I've never come out of a meeting without having some new idea or some new insight on a problem. And it's incredibly enjoyable interacting with the smart groups of scientists, from college students working in the lab all the way up to people on the edge of retirement. They're just wonderful interactions, and I always look forward to it. My laboratory has a whole bunch of focuses, and that's one reason that I think it's so exciting. We are making great strides in molecular diagnostics for infectious diseases. Right now we're focused, as we always have been, on tuberculosis and drug resistance detection, but also on detecting fungal infections in the bloodstream, surveillance tests for Candida auris, which is an emerging pathogen. We are developing some very innovative methods to develop new drugs against tuberculosis, both a prodrug delivery system, as well as drugs that specifically target tuberculosis that falls asleep in the body and is very hard to kill with drugs. When we also look at the basic biology of drug tolerance, which is a way that bacteria that could normally be killed by a drug enter a state where they become very difficult to kill. And I think the implications of a lot of this work goes well beyond tuberculosis, and will help us treat many infectious diseases that can hide in the body for a while, only to wake up later. I'll give them the same piece of advice that I got many years ago from a very well-known gentleman named Arturo Casadevall, who said, "David, what you need to do is learn how to listen." And I think that there is nothing more important than listening in science, in every aspect of science. Listening to other people's ideas, even if you don't necessarily agree with them, or at first. Being kind enough to consider what people have to say, even if it's not something you would necessarily agree in. To listen to other people when you're judging grants and deciding who to fund. To listening to students, to listening to other colleagues. And it's not always easy, because we're all filled with our own ideas and our own thoughts and our own opinions. And it's hard to open up your mind to really hear other people's opinions. But I really think that's probably the most important thing that you need to learn how to do to be an effective scientist, an effective collaborator, and quite frankly, be an effective adult human being.